Noah looked up. The sky was turning grey. And Noah thought to himself, "It looks like rain." And so with one big last push, he got that reluctant elephant up into the ark. 100 years is a long time to work on one job. Noah sat down by the door of the ark and wiped the sweat from his forehead. At last, he was finished with all that God had asked him to do. Noah was 600 years old. And then the flood came. "Now it's time for you and your family to get into the ark," the Lord said to Noah. So Noah and his wife and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives, all got into the ark. Then the Lord himself reached down from heaven and shut the door. Water poured from the sky and rushed up from the ground. It rained and rained and rained. The great flood had come. Lightning flashed, thunder crashed, the winds blew huge waves across the water. The water lifted the giant wooden boat from the ground. It lifted it above Noah's house. It lifted it above the trees in his backyard. The ark tossed in the storm above Noah's neighbor's house, above the whole town, and everyone who lived there. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. It rained so hard that Noah's ark floated above even the highest mountains. There was no dry ground left at all. And everything that breathed on the earth died. But terrible things happen when people sin. Noah and his family waited in the ark. Up and down they tossed on the waves. Everywhere they looked, they saw nothing but water. For 150 days the ark tossed on those waves. But there was probably enough work to do every day, just trying to keep all those animals fed and the ark cleaned up. And maybe at the end of a long day, they sat around the kitchen fire and told stories, tried to remember what it was like to take a walk through the trees on a warm summer evening. But with the racket of all those animals and the creaking of the heavy wooden beams of the ark, how did they get to sleep at night? And how did they keep from rolling out of their beds? Maybe they didn't even have beds. But God hadn't forgotten about them. One day God caused a warm rain to blow. The rain stopped and the water began to go down. It was another 150 days before the ark came to rest on the very top of a mountain called Ararat. Noah and his family and all those animals had all been together in that ark for almost a year. After 40 more days, Noah opened the window of the ark and let a raven fly out. He wanted to see whether it could find some dry ground. Noah waited and waited, but the raven never came back. So Noah tried again. This time he sent out a dove. The dove flew around and around, but it couldn't find any dry ground. It had to come back. Noah waited 7 more days, and then he let the dove fly out again. That evening the dove came back with a fresh olive leaf in its beak. That was a sign for Noah. Now he knew the water had gone down, because the dove had found an olive bush growing on dry land. Noah waited another 7 days, and then he sent the dove out again. This time it didn't come back. It had found a new place to live. Finally, God told Noah it was all right to leave the ark. Noah opened the door, and all those animals rushed out. They found new homes in the world. God had saved them. God provided the ark, and it had brought them all safely through the water. It carried them to a new life. Noah was 601 years old when he left the ark, and was he ever glad to be walking on dry ground again? And now a question arises. Who is our survivor in today's world? Who will save us? Whom are we waiting for?